I find it remarkable how obsessed I've gotten over a country I've never even visited. And that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. How Germany completely changed my life. It's insane. It's pretty insane. Every time I stream at twitch.tv/James Bragging, I always get questions, even on my YouTube videos and my comment sections, even via DMs on Instagram and even through emails. I always get the same question: why Germany? Why am I obsessed with Germany? Why do I want to learn the German language so bad? And all of these things. Well, learning about Germany, I don't know. It's completely changed how I view the world, right? I started off, like I said, a lot of times, but for those that do not know, I started off reacting to German music, and that evolved into me watching TV shows that were predominantly in German, or they were German TV shows in general. And then I got heavily involved in the internet culture, and it allowed me to kind of see how people in that culture interact, and, conduct day-to-day things. And it changed my perspective on how I view the world, because as just an American who's never traveled anywhere in his entire life, at this point I have traveled outside of the country, but prior to that, I had a very limited perspective on how other people outside of the US were and functioned and things like that. And I definitely feel like that put me at a disadvantage as far as understanding cultural differences. For instance, interacting with people who came from Europe who seemed to be very cold and distant. It had nothing to do with my race. It had nothing to do with whether they liked me or not. It has everything to do with the culture over there. People aren't as open to talk to people they don't know. It's just a thing, and had I not known that through the things that I've learned through just absorbing a lot of content that kind of centers around displaying the culture of Germany, I would not have known as much as I do now. I mean, I was learning about Serbia for a while, and I learned very similar things about Serbia. There were obviously differences between Serbia and Germany and whatnot, but a lot of people can see some similarities between the two, them basically both being in Europe and stuff like that. The language was another big milestone for me, because prior to learning German, I had learned Chinese, and I was trying to learn Japanese, and I was in the middle of learning Serbian. Learning German was a very interesting twist, because that was a language that, like I've mentioned before, I did not have any interest in learning at all, because I was told it was the most difficult language to learn next to Chinese. Now, Chinese, I had an interest in learning because it was close to Japanese, and Japanese was something I wanted to learn, so I didn't have to watch anime with subtitles. However, I still have to watch anime with subtitles. So, and Chinese and Japanese, they have some similarities, but they're totally different languages and whatnot. So German, I started learning because once I had reacted to enough German rap, and I started moving on to more of the cultural content, reacting to meme compilations or diving into different YouTubers in Germany or Twitch streamers and whatnot, I wanted to understand what they were saying, because it almost seemed for a while, and even to this day, there's a lot of interaction between me and them. So I want to be able to understand them. I want them to be able to understand me. But one thing that I also noticed is a lot of people in Germany speak good English, not just regular ass English, but good English. So it served as a motivator for me to try to learn that language. I'm like, wow, people there are taking time out of their day to learn German, to learn English, on top of already learning German as their mother tongue. I should at least be able to put forth some kind of effort to learn German. And a process that I thought would have been boring and very gritty and frustrating turned out to be very enjoyable and very fun. And it actually put an entirely new perspective on learning difficult languages in general. Now I feel like I have the mentality to learn Russian. If I wanted to learn Arabic, I could learn Arabic. I can learn all these different languages simply because of the attitude that I had towards learning German. I'm still actively learning German now. It's never a process where you can say you're definitively done learning a language. You're always learning something new. So having that implemented in my life has definitely changed everything, how I view learning new languages, and also communicating with people and making new friends from a different culture. I did not have the capability of making the friends that I have now had I not been able to learn and speak German in a way that I can have a decent conversation and form friendships around that. There are tons of words I don't know. There are tons of phrases I don't know. I mess up the structure of how I say things all the time in German. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to form relationships with people. And I feel like that has been a staple on the channel and in the community. And that's the last point I wanted to cover as well, because I think that it is incredible that I have been able to find a community that not only supports me, but a community that I can give back to. You know, it's like a bubble that we've created all because of an interest that I had that kind of almost came out of the blue, you know. Being able to learn German, like I said, I've been able to connect with people on a deeper level, and it's allowed people who've seen me trying to learn that language come forward and assist me further so I can learn even faster. I feel like having all these different people to learn and pull from and whatnot, not only the language, but also the culture, and having different pointers as far as places to visit and things to do, it makes me feel like I have a home away from home. I've never been to Germany, mind you. I've never been to Germany. I will definitely be in Germany. And I feel like this is probably one of the most anticipated trips I will ever have in my entire life, right? Over the last 2 years, I feel like as a community, we have all built such a hype for me to come over there and meet you guys and share these experiences with you guys, because we've already shared so many intimate experiences with each other just online through live streams, through different videos where I was struggling with a lot of stuff, a lot of videos where I've been talking to a lot of you guys, and you know, you guys might have been struggling with understanding certain aspects of American culture or the English language or something to some of that degree. You know, and we've been able to bond through things like that. And I feel very strongly like we're all a family that is a global thing, like a global family, which is why I'm like, yo, that's Bray Gang to its core. And I really appreciate you guys for accepting me and, you know, encouraging me to continue to learn, because like I say all the time, like you guys have told me a million times over, it's a marathon and not a sprint. You know, it's something that you have to have patience with. You won't get good overnight, and you can't rush understanding and learning within a day. So I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've been able to form a very tightly knit community. We've all been able to form a tightly knit community because of this, and I'm very grateful. And it all spawned from me having an interest in the culture. I have an interest in a lot of cultures, but particularly this one has changed my life the most, and I'm very appreciative of that. So for every single person that's been a part of the journey, every single person watching this, thank you. Because also what this has done, it has attracted more people that aren't even, you know, who either initially didn't have an interest in this culture to now have an interest in this culture through my channel, through our channel, and through our community and as well, because some people just want to go to a community that's very positive, that's not very judgmental and things of that nature. And our community offers that. And I think that, you know, people find it and they're like, you know what, I thought this was a difficult language. I thought this was a very, you know, closed off culture, but it's not. You know, I'm not saying it's only because of me, but I feel like there's a part to play in, you know, having you guys as, you know, my core community, and bringing in more people who want to learn more about it. So thank you guys. This is basically a thank you and a reflection video on how we got to where we are now. And also a reminder that I am still learning and I didn't give up. I'm obviously very, very self-aware of where I am and where I'm going to be in the future. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, and maybe even updates with what you've noticed with this community over the years, as far as how this has been a cool experience for you or the lack thereof or whatever, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I wanted to kind of, you know, give you guys my thanks and kind of a reflection on how the last few years have been. And I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the future. And the last little thing I'll say, it always blows my mind, man. If I can understand any German, it always blows my mind when people speak and I'm like, I understood that. What? I actually already have a response ready in my head, you know? Or I read something and I'm like, whoa, like that's crazy. Because I randomly started doing this. So anyways, take care guys. I love you. And that's pretty much it. See ya.